My name is Salvatore Ioverno, and I'm an assistant professor at the Department of Education of Roma Tre University. So Roma Tre University is one of the three main public universities in Rome, and it's a university that with one of the largest Department of Education in Italy. And I teach developmental psychopathology. So I teach to students who are training to become future teachers in kindergarten, primary school, or nurseries. And I also run a laboratory on gender violence for students who will become future coordinators of social services. Generally speaking, my research is focused on the mental health and the academic experience of sexual and gender minority youth. That means youth who self-identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or who are not sure about their sexual orientation or gender identity. So I worked on several topics, but most of my research has been focusing on how certain school practices as some school policies can improve the school experiences of these minorities. Sexual gender minority youth are considered sometimes an at-risk population. It is well known in research that LGBTQI adolescents are more likely tend to report higher level of negative mental health outcomes. And this is not because of their sexual orientation, of course, or their gender identity. It's just because this minority is more likely to be exposed to discrimination or discriminatory victimization. So this is a real risk. The percentages of adolescents who are sexual gender minorities who have been exposed to victimization at least once in their life is very, very high. Well, the first thing is being informed about the needs of LGBTQI students. So considering that LGBTQI students are more at risk for victimization, and most of the time they face some specific stress that the majority of adolescents don't experience. Like, for example, as I said before, the coming out experience. The second thing is trying to communicate to students that discriminatory language and discriminatory behaviors are not tolerated. Because if they see that teachers tolerate that kind of behavior or that kind of language, they are more likely to perpetrate discriminatory attitudes. So somehow the teachers need to communicate that. Then it's very important that teachers intervene in situations of homophobic bullying or discriminatory bullying. Because we also showed in research, in one study, that students witnessing teachers intervening in situations of discriminatory bullying are more likely to defend the victims of discriminatory bullying. So the teachers have a big, important role in influencing the prosocial norms of a classroom. LGBTQI adolescents are more at risk for several negative mental health outcomes, such as depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and at-risk behaviors. So yes, there are disparities, but again, this is not related to the sexual orientation per se, but it's related to the fact, especially in more discriminatory environments, these people are more likely to experience several stressors. One of the school policies and practices that we identified in our studies is that having an inclusive curricula, so a curriculum that incorporates LGBTQI issues or people, is associated with improved mental health for LGBTQI adolescents and also a better school experience. in those situations, I would not recommend adolescents to come out, to figure out when and if it's a good moment to come out with the parents, and also to evaluate the risk. So the adolescents needs to evaluate the risk associated with the coming out process. Roma Tre University, the main campus of Roma Tre University is in a neighborhood called, it's close to the metro San Paolo. So it's a little bit, it's the Garbatella neighborhood. So a very nice neighborhood of Rome, very popular. The building with all the garden, with all the green, that very nice area is where we teach.